Alright, here we go. We got our Khorne boys coming in. First is the Lizardmen, the big dinosaur, Dread Saurian, rocking. This is here on the SFT over on Total Tavern. Death by Ricochet versus me. Now, I wouldn't say I'm a veteran, but I am seasoned in playing this game. Not that seasoned compared to some of these pros. Some of these pros got like well over like 10,000 hours in this game. That's just nutty. And Death by Ricochet, he just wanted to play, and he wanted to play for fun. And I obliged him. After seeing his unit count, though, I know he's going Dread Saurian. That's the only time you ever see 7 units, and you're like, oh, crap. Well, that's bad. But I can keep up with the Dread Saurian. You just do a little bit of fire damage, work on the healing, throw some skull cannons into the mix. Because it's either Dread Saurian or you usually go, what is the other one? You go a bunch of skink skirmishers and just kite Khorne to death, and it's really boring, if you do say so myself. But look at that, skink hordes just get melted. Although the skull cannons aren't the most accurate. Scar Veteran and Mazda Mundi. I don't know about Mazda Mundi, he definitely could have. And already I'm throwing. My Marauder Horsemen, I put them on skirmish mode. And they don't even move until they're already terror routed. So, yeah, thanks, CA. Alright, here we go. Another blast from the cannons. Barely touch them, those skinks. Oh, the accuracy of these skull cannons is just not there. I gotta be wary of my micro. Scar Veteran's coming for the skull cannons, which is fine. If he has to come to me, that's perfect. I got some Minotaurs waiting in the woods for him. Just kind of pushed me off, but these minnows. And I didn't even realize, and I forgot, that Minotaurs actually have woodsmen, so they can fight in the woods without any penalties. Thank goodness. Shredder Illustria. An absolute bastard. Apotheosis. Yeah, it should have been, Death Ricochet, if you're listening, or watching. And instead of Mazda Money, just go with the Slan Priest. And go, what is the other, Life. Go with the Life Caster. Regrowth on a Shredder is so much better than Apotheosis, in my opinion. You heal for a lot more than just 0.8%. I think it's like, what, 1.6? And it's a lot longer. I think it's like 20 or 30 seconds, somewhere around that range. I mean, yeah, it's still bad with me throwing X into it, but it's way better than this. And we are actually doing a number. The Khorne and the Marauders, or the Khorne Gores and the Marauders are just going nuts on this thing. It's just a big, fat target for all the axes. And soon we're gonna have Minotaurs in there. Yeah, he's just overcommitted with that. It's having a hard time just walking through there. There's no 20% ward save on top of it either. And my silly little skull cannons can't apparently shoot downhill. Yeah, this ain't the best showing of the skull cannons, I'll be honest. Just a better position on here would be nice. Get the Furies to come shoo away some of those dinos. Throwing axes. Wow, this thing is 15,000. HP, and we already dropped it down to 4. Okay. So we're working on it. He can go back and heal as long as he doesn't take the side objective. We can just keep wearing him down. We clearly have the value lead, but it could go wrong for me one or two ways. Oh yeah, the skull cannons. Just unable to hit shit. And again, the Scar Veteran's trying to overcommit, and we will oblige him with some more Minotaurs in a minute. Or a few seconds, really. And we can. This is why I'm a bit iffy on Warhammer right now, because a lot of it is very, I don't know. It's very defensive right now. You don't really have to. You have no incentivize. You don't have to incentivize capturing points right away anymore. It really feels that way. Certain factions you might have to, because they can just drown you in spam. But yeah, it's just you could do a lot of build-ups, and it's really just. That's another complaint I have. And I'll save that one for another time. But there's no incentive for me to come down and deal with this when I could just work my way and shoot. And that's kind of what I was expecting from Death by Ricochet. Just having a build where I have to come to him and he forces me out. And that'd be kind of annoying to deal with. But, you know, you have to play your strengths and weaknesses, right? It would be kind of silly if you didn't, but when you're playing a video game that you can alter all sorts of things, it's also silly how certain things turn out. How lame they can be sometimes. Like, if I would have had to deal with a kite, I would just like, alright, I'm just gonna wing it. Not, because I don't like doing build-ups. It's like, what's the point of a build-up? You wait for the first, like, 3 or 5 minutes. And just keep doing this and that. Honestly, if skull cannons were a bit better, this would be nice. That way you don't have to rely on the bellowers. And the only reason I went skull cannons is so I don't have to come out and deal with all the skink spam if that was the case. Ugh. It's not looking too bad right now. We got the shredder right here with the minotaurs coming in. Go slap 'em, minnows. Now that I remember, I think the win percentage in this matchup is 41% Khorne unfavored. Yeah, it's not too good. It's not that many games, but still not Khorne favored. Just the amount of healing just puts them down. Kind of makes me wish Karnak wasn't so damn expensive. Karnak just... Ugh. I think they should increase the range of his you can't cast spells. And maybe I don't know. When trying to fix a game mode, fix a unit for a game mode, when you have multiple game modes, it kind of becomes annoying to try to balance that. Because I'm thinking, if they make Karnak's area denial, spell area denial, larger, he's just... I don't know how you fix that with Dom. And transfer it to land battles. To land battles, Karnak sees play. Dom, not so much because it's just too much of a hamper on the starting or late game. Maybe you could have him as a character in the reserve, and that's about it, but... You're going to be so down on points by the time you bring him in, and you're going to have such little control afterwards. Yeah, we're still up 2,000 value. We're slowly gaining back objectives. Ricochet. Kind of getting a bit over-aggressive here. Really should have buffered out a lot of these units. And, yeah, the Scar Veteran was just a throw. If he would have kept the Scar Veteran as a bodyguard instead of trying to throw it at the cannons, he wouldn't have to worry about this kind of a mess. Good banishment gets me out of there. Although I was running low on ammo anyways, with one of those Marauders, so it's not the worst and it's not the best either. Skinks are going to end up fighting, and I don't think my Marauders can actually beat all those Skinks. 160 models, no way. How weakened we are. My Herald of Khorne needs to get the hell out of there, though. He's not going to be able to fight a Shredder or Luster, even with 3,000 HP. Yep, just get on out of there. Go chase the Skinks, go heal up, go fight. Wait till the Minotaurs or the Khorngors come in so we can deal with this stuff properly. And here comes the Shredder! No! No! Turn around! Turn around! What am I doing? I might actually get my Lord killed. Jeez. That would be an absolute sad day. What else we got over here? Skull Cannons are refueling and rearming. We got Hold One Spear Riders. We got Bloodletters that are chasing units that they don't need to be chasing. Khorngors fighting units that they don't need to be fighting. No, they're fighting, well, the Skinks are finally running off, but they're fighting, looks like cold ones. Yeah, just feral cold ones. The Minotaurs coming back into the fray. Hopefully, maybe, kinda, yeah. And then we'll get the Skull Cannons back over here and start putting shots at the Skinks. It'll be a grand old time. Ah, the first Sword of Khorne. I was waiting on this. Just getting them nice and easy. It's not the best Sword of Khorne, but it's not the worst. Khorngor's coming now to come deal with them. I want to use on the Skinks, but the Skinks weren't pounding the way I wanted them to. And I don't want to hit my own Khorngors. Over here, we just claim everything. I think we're going to pick up the Shredder. Maybe. I doubt it. That thing is a beast. I need to be careful with my Lord. I need to get him out of there. Go have him heal up. Yeah, poor Shredder. Yeah, if you're going to use the Shredder, you're going to use one giant entity like this. You really need to have bodyguards, things to buffer out. Things like Khorngors and such, because it will beat everything I throw at it, easily. It beat Minotaurs in a straight-up fight, easy. And I really have to buff up those Minotaurs with like 40, 24 melee attacks, stuff like that. It's tough, it's tough. They don't have terror, so they will eat that too. It will get terror routed. Come on, Skull Cannon, come back. Don't die on me now. Fury's come chase out. I think this is slowly becoming the beginning of the end. I was up 2,000. He's slowly getting back in here. But then he summons Salamander packs, which is clearly not the right call. You have nothing to buffer out the Salamander packs. And then the fire ones at that, which is really not what he needs right now. What he needs is like Source Warriors, Spears, or just Source Warriors in general. Furies will destroy Salamander hunting packs easily. So quick too, yeah, on the charge they'll destroy. Even faster in the woods because their Furies are small entities and the Salamanders are large, so it lowers their melee attack. I don't know if it does the defense too, but it does mess them up. And we're back to being up 2,000. Yeah, as long as we got the Skull Cannons, we're fine. We haven't lost our Lord. We're chasing him back to his home objective. My Lord is overextended, though. He's into my opponent's deployment, and he summons the Scar Veteran to come chase him. And he is definitely faster than my guy. Yup. 85 speed, yup. Oh, it's not a game unless I get my Lord killed. Tormentor Sword, but then he starts disintegrating. Silly little plays like that. I need to be paying attention. But other than that, I think this game is going to be all about over. I use the Relentless Rage to keep my Lord alive as long as possible until I get his Lord, and then clean up the rest of the stuff. And I think that's going to be GG. Oh, yeah. I'm going to own all 3 objectives. He's down on value. His Shredder Illustria is going to go kaput. His Lord isn't too far behind. Nice banishment, but we are still moving and grooving. And we put a shot into his Mazda Mundi. Poor guy. And all that's really left is, yeah, some beaten units, and yeah, that's about it. That's about it. And then we just finish off Mazda Mundi. Poor guy. You can run, but you can't hide. And he will die. Alright. We got 1,000 over here. The Shredder's finally done. You can only route so many times. Yeah, I don't dislike the Scar Veteran, but yeah, I think I'd prefer Scar Veteran. Scar Veteran, or go like, I don't know. I don't know about going Mass Skinks too, because you could fill up the army bar of Khorne pretty quick with 160 models. Maybe just go Feral Cold Ones and Cav spam. That's what a lot of the higher end players have been doing into Khorne. That's what I would do into Khorne now. It seems to be doing alright. I've done into Khorne with Rot Knights. It seems to be working alright. They're only 32 to 48 models. It takes them forever. They trade pretty well on the charge. They're high armor, so only certain units deal with them on the Khorne roster. Although, Bloodletters trade well into everything. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I still think you go Skink spam and just kite them and then run off. Use some spells to chase them off or slow them down. Anything that chases them. But I don't know. It's been a while since I played against Lizardmen on the pros. But yeah, here comes the fast word. We're about done here. GG's, Death by Ricochet, GG's. Alright, let's see if these Skull Cannons actually pay for themselves. One did, and one did not. Which kind of makes sense. You kind of need both to actually do anything. Marauders did fantastic. Pretty much this is all just Shredder Illustria. Even the Herald helped out. I did Herald over Skull Taker because I fear a lot of things. Skull Taker is also more expensive. You need to cover more ground if you did go wide with the skirmish spam of Skinks and Croxagores. Alright folks, we're coming towards the end of the video. If you liked the video, please like, sub, follow me here on YouTube. We're on the road to 2,000. Come see me on the stream when we have our tournaments, or if you just want to show some love, say something, that'd be nice. Alright folks, with all that said, y'all have a good one. Peace, and goodbye for now.